Hey everybody, welcome back to Mulligans and Hackers Podcast, episode 56. In this episode, we're going to recap our debut on the Alberta Golf Tour.
Yeah, at the duel at Desert Bloom.
Our first time ever playing an amateur event. What an experience. I can't... I wasn't quite... I don't know if I knew what I was going to expect when I got there. But you show up, the tent's there, the flags are there.
Yeah.
You know, it's an amateur tour event.
You go and you see Leah in the tent. You check in, like for us, because we signed up as members. We went and got our swag bag,
which
right,
is
with
cool,
our ball marker, our glove.
I didn't see my ball marker.
It should be in your bag.
Okay,
you better check.
I gotta go check that.
Our towel, and then
the bag tag,
the bag tag, right?
The bag tag that says Alberta Golf Tour 2024 player,
which is pretty cool.
I mean, for us,
it's a novelty item, but it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, again, 3 years ago when we started this, I don't know, this didn't come into the conversation until probably the second year that maybe we should do something like this, and here we are in our fourth year, just starting. We're on an amateur tour, and we got our first event in, so we're going to talk about that in depth in this episode.
Yeah, it was. It's one of those things that you just don't think about, right? And big shout out to Leah. She runs a extremely great event. It was well run, well organized. She loves her pace of play.
She loves her pace of play. That is hammered home the entire time we're there. Is pace of play. We got emails on it, messages on it, pace of play.
But I think the pace of play was great out there. Everybody was right on where they needed to be.
Except for Leia's group behind us.
Yeah. They might have been a little bit behind us. Maybe they were having a rougher day out there, but who knows. But it was really well put together. And the other thing is we've had so much rain lately. What a day. It was like a beauty day.
So usually Desert Bloom is brown. It's a desert. That's just the way it is. But when we made that turn on the back nine and we went up towards the top of the coulee, it wasn't brown. It was green. Yeah. We had a lot of rain down this area in the last little while, and it's totally greened up everything.
Well, last month we had 137 millimeters. Third wettest May ever recorded. So that's insane. We so need it down here. And actually, I put up a video of you making the eagle attempt. And who was it? Somebody commented. Was it Bingo Bango?
It was Brandon. Yeah. Brandon said that golf course looks amazing, and it does.
They're all like that, man.
And all of them are like that here. Are like that here right now. So that's fantastic. So I'm going to give you a little bit of prep into what I did. So I got up in the morning. Our tee time was at 2:33.
Yes.
Leah said she was going to be there at about noonish, setting up or whatever. So I was kind of like, I want to be there, get there around 12:30. So I got up in the morning, had a good breakfast, did my at-home stretch warm-up routine that I do, and then I was ready to go. So then I went to the event, showed up at Desert Bloom, walk in, the flags are there, tents there, people are already out on the range, people are on the putting green, it's on. So I started to get a little excited, tried to hone in the excitement. Right off the bat, it's like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. As I'm walking down to get the cart, check in, do my thing, I see you walking. You're already out on the range.
Yeah.
So you were already there. Yeah. So that was how I got there and got to the event. So what was your prep time like?
So the night before, I went to our gala for our volleyball thing, and it was funny because I've talked about Trevor many times. He's a golf guy. He's our mindset coach. He actually emceed it for us. So he actually knows Leah really well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That I didn't know.
He also knows Courtney Campbell, who is on our podcast as well. So we were talking about the tour, and he's like, you never win your first one. He's like, just go out there. He's like, try not to make it any other day, whatever. So I was like, you know what, that's great. So I got up in the morning, I went and got coffee, came home, I mowed the grass, I did a few chores around the house. I prepped my golf bag the night before. My grips needed a wash. That was the only thing I did different in the last little bit because they were pretty filthy. So I washed them up. Then about, 11:45, I was going to wait a little longer, but I was kind of like, I'm sitting here doing nothing. I might as well go to the range. So I drove out there. They had just gotten there. They were just starting to set everything up. So I went in, I got my I got my bucket of balls, my code for the bucket. And what I did is the range was packed. So I actually went over to the chipping green, their little practice facility out there. And I spent probably, I don't know, 45 minutes just chipping, working on chipping. And then Jake showed up. And then we were kind of talking a little bit. I seen another guy who I know and whatever. And then I went over to the range and I hit some balls. And I tried to do as normal as a warm-up as I normally do. I mean, I tried to just keep it as any other day, really. That was my big takeaway from talking to Trevor, right? It's like try and don't make it anything bigger than it already is, right? So I mean, you're nervous and you're kind of like, oh, this is gonna be fun. Like, what do I expect? It's easier said than done not to do that, right?
So we had played so we played the Friday before the event. So the event was on Saturday.
Yeah.
We played a practice round from the tees that we were going to play from on Friday.
Yeah. Mind you, it was in a shotgun, but yeah.
Yeah. And the Friday was a shotgun.
Yeah.
Right? We started on hole number 8. Well, we played Desert Bloom a couple weeks before that as well, right?
Correct. We played it on the holiday Monday.
On the holiday Monday. So that round, I did not play well. The conditions were terrible.
I played outstanding. I shot an 84 that day. It was unbelievable.
So I played it horrific. I think I shot a 95.
Yeah, you turned your scorecard basically into your bag and turned it into a practice round in that one.
So, on that note, I used the back 9 of that round that I played terrible in,
as we talked about in our last prep episode,
to get through my block.
Yep.
That I had from the range to the course.
Yep. And
it started to work. So we go out and play Friday, our practice round.
Yep.
And I shot an 85.
Yes.
That's with taking a 10 on number 3, which is the par 5, correct?
It was number 7.
Was it number 7? Oh, yes. No,
it was number 3.
Number 3,
right.
Yeah.
It was number 3, yeah.
So 3 wood in my bag is probably one of my best clubs in the bag. I put 3 in the shit with the 3 wood as my second shot. I took a 10 on the third par 5.
Arguably one of the easiest par 5s.
Arguably one of the easiest par 5s on the hole. I didn't let that ruin my day. That was, I took it.
Yep.
And I turned in an 85. So I really played. There was a period where I went 5 holes, 6 holes, 1 under par.
Yeah, it was something like that. You were lights out. So it was on the back when we made the turn. Yeah. You were lights out back.
So
there.
That block that I worked through, I brought it to the course, and it really started to pay off. So after that practice run on Friday, I knew the tees we were playing from. I was ready to go. Mentally upstairs, I was ready to go. I had it. Alvin, you can play this course decently. If you can shoot in the mid 80s, you will place well. It'll be fine.
Yep.
Go around the course like you can. So that Friday round was a big confidence booster for myself. A big one. Even after a 5 or a +5 on the.
Well, you saying that you took a quintuple bogey.
Yeah.
And you still finished at 13 over. Like for us, that's amazing.
It was a big confidence booster for me, and I was after that round when we left, I knew I was ready for Saturday.
Yep.
So I did my warm up. We got there. I hit my range set. My range session was fine. Hit well on the range. Did some chipping work. The bunker in the practice area wasn't that great, so I didn't do much bunker work. And did a fair amount of putting practice because the greens at Desert Bloom are blistering fast.
I just want to say that every single person we talked to out there, didn't matter if they were in the champ flight, the A flight, the B flight, the C flight with us, the D flight, every single person, including Leah, said, man, these greens are blistering fast. And when they finished their round after us, I was like, yeah, I had like I had 4 or 5 3-putts on our Friday round. Because I wasn't putting well. I shot an 89 that day, and I'm like, well, you know what? All things considered, I didn't putt well, and I shot an 89. I'm okay with that. And we were talking. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you're not careful, you can get 3-putts out there. And she's like, 3 putts? She's like, we're talking like 4 putts. She's like, those greens are insane. And I'm like,
they were fast.
That's a normal Desert Bloom to us. So just shout out to Desert Bloom Golf Course. They have some of the fastest greens in Alberta. And that's from players that play all across Alberta. So take that for what you will.
we definitely saw the speed, but we've played Desert Bloom before, and we knew the greens were going to be fast.
Yes, we kind of had a leg up in that regard.
So I'll give us a little bit of a prop on that because we knew what we were up against. So we're ready to go.
Yep.
Tee time comes along. We're all up. Get up to the tees.
Yeah. So it was me, you, Jake.
Jake came down.
Jake was in with us. He was in the D flight.
Shout out to Jake for coming down and getting his inaugural or debut AGT event in. He's been one of our guys since the beginning as well.
And a guy named Blair. So shout out Blair if you're listening to this, because Leah told him that she was going to pair him with us because she told him, you better behave because they might talk about you on their podcast.
Well, here we are talking about you, Blair. He actually fit into our group really well.
Yeah, he was great.
He was good. Solid
and he
guy.
also played in the D flight with Jake.
With Jake, and
although I think he could probably play higher. He's pretty good off the tee.
I think we made a lot of fun of Blair throughout the entire round when he would tee off, and we go, "That is not a D flight drive. That is not a D flight iron shot." Right? He fit right into our group really well. And shout out to Blair. It was nice having you on that round, on that loop, pal. It was very enjoyable, and we'll see you again. So we get up to the first tee. It's the first time my name has ever been called on a golf course teeing off. That was cool.
Yeah, like so she basically put us in alphabetical order. So I had to tee off first. And I mean, anybody that knows me and knows how I hit the ball, hole number 1 at Desert Bloom, really not a driver hole for me. So I'm like, I was that guy. I grabbed a 6-iron because my 6-iron's like 200, 210.
Yep.
You get in the right spot, it's good. And I'm like, everybody all day had been hitting driver off the tee box. And I'm like, I'm going to hit an iron. It's fine. Not a big deal. So she calls my name. I do my little prep and I stand over the ball and I'm like, man, I haven't felt butterflies like this in a while. This is an interesting feeling. And just kind of focus on the ball. Don't look up. Get it in the air. And I hit a beauty 6-iron, plugged it right in the middle of the fairway. And then after that, I was like, okay, we can play golf now.
Yep.
Now, that was really the only real pressure I felt of the day.
Same thing. I got up, teed off, hit the fairway, which I did pretty much the entire day.
Well, yeah, that's pretty normal for you.
We'll go through, but after a while, we got to on the back 9 and Blair pipes up. It must be boring playing from the middle of the fairway every hole. And no, it's not for me. It's not boring at all. That's exactly where I want to play from. I missed 2 fairways the entire day.
Very nice. Very nice.
And we'll get into those afterwards.
Very nice.
But we tee off on the first hole.
Yep.
We're in the fairway.
Yep. I hit an absolutely awful gap wedge. And I mean, the location where it landed wasn't awful, but it was an awful gap wedge. Like, I sculled it a little bit. It was a front pin, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can just hit a nice ball, bounce it up there, because they're hard greens, and we know you got to land them short and bounce them in. And what I do is I end up sculling it just over top of the bunker to the left, and I'm like, great, so now I got a downhill chip that I'm basically going to have no chance at par here. So I'm going to have to bogey, probably, which is exactly what I did. Meanwhile, this guy...
I hit the green.
You didn't just hit the green. Come on now. He tucks it to within, 2 feet.
2 feet, yeah. So for a pretty moderate tap-in birdie on hole number 1 for me.
Yeah, for a net eagle.
For a net eagle on that hole. That's how I started the day. So we were off and running. It's go time. Let's get at this.
So to preface, we were playing 75% Stableford. So it was not stroke play. It was 75% Stableford scoring. So what that means is 75% of your handicap, and then you get 1 point for a bogey, 2 points for a par, 3 points for a birdie, 4 points for an eagle, and 5 points for anything above. So Alvin and I had strokes on 1, 2, 3, I think, on the front, I want to say.
Doesn't say on there.
Doesn't say on there. I have my scorecard at home that has it, and I should have brought it. I tagged it. Anyways, so on those holes, like hole 1 was one of them, right? So Alvin gets a birdie. It's actually a net eagle. So that's worth 4 points off the hop.
Right off the hop.
So I get a bogey, which is actually worth a par. So I get 2. So I'm 2 points behind him right away.
So hole number 1, it's in the books, and I'm amazed that I birdied hole number one. That approach shot for me was, again.
I just want to say that approach shot was probably the best approach shot I have seen you hit in quite a long time.
We talk about getting me getting through the block.
Yeah.
And that, again, Friday was a solid round that got me a lot of confidence, but that first hole was magic.
Well, when you come on and do that,
right? First tournament, first tour date, and your first approach shot that you've been struggling with your approach shots the entire year, that you tuck it within 2 feet for a moderate tap in birdie. Let's go. I'm ready to rock this thing. Let's go.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the mental part of this afterwards and where we went from that. But then we move on to hole number 2.
Yep. Not so usually it's a long par 3, but for us we were up.
So again, we played from on this course a maroon green combo, which means it's 6,100 yards.
Yep.
So on certain holes you'll play up a tee box, and on certain holes you'll play back on the greens. So the greens are further, maroons are closer. So I don't know. I think for myself it balances us out a little bit because we're playing on a pretty level playing field then.
Yeah, it absolutely.
Right, because it takes away that long second shot from me.
Yes.
But see, your approach game is arguably better than mine.
Well, it has been. I mean,
right?
This year I haven't been super happy with it, but yeah, it's yes. Because usually on a longer par 3, that's a benefit to me because I still got an iron in my hand, whereas you're going a hybrid or a wood or something.
Right? So what did I do? I got it up there.
You were up on top, off the top fringe.
and I chipped it on and 2-putted. So I came out of that number 2 with a bogey.
I parred.
So
I would a net birdie because we were given a stroke on that one.
So you picked up a point back on there.
Yep.
So then we get into hole number 3, which is the long par 5, the one that I butchered on the Friday, and I went fairway, second shot up close, third shot didn't quite make the green, chip to within, I don't know, 1.5 feet, tap it in for a par. Mm-hmm. I'm off that. So I gained 5 strokes from Friday to Saturday on that hole.
I went 5 wood off the tee and I hit in a decent spot and it got a massive bounce left. We could not find the ball, had to take a drop. I went over OB, so I ended up having to take a drop. I think I battled 3. Yeah, I battled back and I actually made a legit bogey on that, which was, all things considered, I was very happy with.
You bet.
But it was where my ball landed should not have been trouble. Like the way it just got a massive hop and then it was gone. And we looked for our 3 minutes and couldn't find it. So I took a lateral and our lateral hazard drop and away we went. So you ended up picking up another one on me there.
Yep. So then we get into the next par 3.
Yep.
Now I hit the green on this one.
Yeah, you better pack a lunch.
Yes, it was pack a lunch territory. It was definitely 3-putt territory, and I did 3-putt because my lag putt didn't get me into any decent shape on that.
I think I parred that one. No, we all made bogey.
I think we all made bogey.
Yeah, I chipped on and made it 2.
So then we get into number 5, which is the second par 5 on the front.
Yep.
I hit the fairway again. This is going to be a recurring thing for me.
I had a great drive on that one.
But it took me a while to get on. I 2-putted, came out of that with a bogey.
Yeah, you made a good bogey there, and I made a par on that one. I actually stayed far enough right because that hole, everything slants left and then it narrows. Like I hit my drive and I hit it in the perfect spot so it ran out and it ended up just hanging on the left side of the fairway off the drive, and I'm like it was straight up the middle when it went over the hill. And then it's on the left side, so that's a
tough hole.
That is a tough hole, man.
You lost the ball on that one on the Friday, did you not?
Yeah, I hit it out to the right,
up to the right,
and we couldn't find it.
It's a blind shot, so we don't see where it lands, and we don't see how the ball reacts.
Yeah,
but we couldn't find the ball on Friday,
and it should have. From where the trajectory was, it should have been fine.
Should have been in play.
That's okay.
So, number 6. No, which one were we on?
We're on 5.
5.
Yeah.
So I came out of that one with a bogey. Got it on in 4, 2-putted. I'm good with that. Again, that's a hole that doesn't favor my game because I hate blind shots.
Yes.
So getting out of that with a bogey, I was comfortable with.
Yep.
So we're gonna move into number 6. Same thing.
Everybody, so number 6, it's downhill. So if you get your drive out there enough, it's beautiful. Everybody hits a beautiful drive. Okay, this is why we're in the C and the D flight. Everybody hits a beautiful drive, and we got like what 65, 70 yards left,
easy.
And so it's like, okay, so Alvin or Jake went first. I think he came up short. You go next. You miss just left because you're trying to play the hill to come back, which is the exact shot you should make. You end up just above the bunker. I try the exact same shot. I end up in the exact same spot. And I'm like, that's why we're in the C flight.
So none of us hit that green, right?
No.
So, but I chipped it close, managed a 1-putt par on that one.
Yes, I managed a 1-putt par as well. I didn't chip. I Texas wedged it close. So that was, we were even on that hole.
Hole number 7, par 5. Third par 5 on the front.
Yeah, the front plays at 37, right?
So I hit the fairway. I don't hit the green. And this was my second 3-putt of the day. So I double bogeyed this par 5. It was I didn't manage the hole well. And I came out of it with, that was my first double of the day.
And I bogeyed that one because I had a 100-yard wedge shot. And I could not make a shot on my wedges that day for whatever reason. I mean, lately I haven't been happy with my wedge play. We'll talk about that though for like going into our round on Sunday afterwards because I got that sorted now. I think so.
So get out of that one. Double bogey, so that was kind of a hurting hole for me.
Yep.
Then we get into number 8. I went fairway to green, 2-putt par, get off.
Yeah, and the day before you doubled that one because you started on it, right? And that's a short par.
That is the first time I've parred that hole.
So I went fairway. I hit what I thought was a really nice approach shot, but if you're even a touch long, you're into the shit. So I'm just barely I'm inside the red stakes, like I'm in the playing area. So I had no way to actually get it on the green. So I had to basically chip it back. So then I'm hitting 4 to get on. And then I ended up 2-putting for a 6. So I doubled.
So that hole was, again, I got through that hole with a par. First time I've ever parred that hole. Again, my confidence is riding high now.
Yeah.
Right? I'm in good shape. And then we get to number 9. So this is one of the fairways that I missed.
Oh, and you didn't just miss it.
I shit hooked my drive off that probably about 70 yards hard into the left hill. Found it. Took a 2-club drop relief and scrubbed it just barely out of the shit. I hacked my way around that hole like a bitch. And this was the first bit of breaking. Like, I couldn't get myself back into shape. And it's a hard hole because it goes around the hill.
It goes down and then around, and it's kind of, it doesn't really fit the eye well.
The
way you're trying to hit the ball.
So I muckered my way around that. And that was my third 3-putt of the front. Took a drop. So I came out of that with a quad. A solid 8 to finish the front 9.
And I shot a 4. I parred that one.
So
I went, I just off the fairway. And then I hit an absolutely perfect approach shot. Just missed my birdie putt and made my par. So through the front, you were +8. Yeah, you were +8 through the front, and I was +7.
Yep. And again,
yeah.
+8 through the front on Desert Bloom, I will take every single day of the week.
Yeah.
Every single day of the week. So then we go get our complimentary burger at the turn.
Yeah, very good, by the way.
Because that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. So then, as we're going up to number 10, in my mind, it's like, okay, Alvin, that hole's done. Playing the mental game on the course, that hole's done. Get off the tee box here on number 10, which is, again, it's a tough tee shot.
That is my least favorite hole on the golf course.
And we're back in the game. I'm one bad hole. I'm not going to let that destroy me for the Saturday. So we get up and take the tee shot, and all of us, our first tee shots, we all missed. Right. We have no idea if we can find these balls. So I know Blair took a provisional.
Yeah, Blair hit a provisional, hit it right in the middle. No, Jake hit a ball that was right down the middle. He didn't miss right.
Okay.
Jake was good, but you and Blair all went right.
Right.
So we thought, Blair's like, well, we should hit provisionals because he was kind of helping us out with the rules because he's played many a times out there. So you hit a provisional. You pulled yours left into the shit.
Yep, I put
So,
mine into
OB.
the water. So yeah, I was.
So I step up to hit my provisional. I fucking put it in the exact same spot, and I'm like, God, I hope we can find those balls, because otherwise we're hitting fucking 5.
So then we go down. We're starting to look around. I spot yours first. I'm like,
Well, we spot Blair's first because he was on the cart path.
Right.
So we found his.
So
He picked up his provisional. He was shooting 2.
so then I found yours.
Yep.
So you were safe. And then we walked back a little bit further, and I found mine.
Yes.
So we found all of our balls. We're hitting 2 off of where we are in the shit.
Yep.
And we just did it. So, I hit a bat again. I played mine as it lay, and I barely got it back to the fairway. It was a terrible shot.
Took an unplayable. No, I didn't. Did I?
I don't know.
Yes, I did. I took an unplayable because I was like, "There's no way I'm going to be able to hit this just the way it was lying." I'm like, "I'm taking an unplayable." So I was hitting. So then I'm hitting 3. So then I came up just short of the green. I think we ended up in the same spot after 3 swings.
Yep.
And then so we both chipped on and we both one putted for bogey, I believe.
I double bogeyed.
Oh, you doubled.
I did.
Okay, I had a bogey.
I doubled because I hacked it around there a little bit.
Right.
So I'm coming off a quad and a double on 9 and 10.
Yep.
I still didn't break. I'm like, I'm still in this. Don't worry about it. Just move on. So then we get up to number 11, and I'm back. I found the fairway on number 11. I didn't hit the green. 2 putted for a bogey. I took the bogey. I didn't feel bad about the bogey because I'm off the double square chain. So I was like, good. I bogeyed. Move on. What'd you do on 11?
On 11 on the par 5, I went left, duffed a shot, came up short, and then I think I came up short. I hit a chip long, so then I'm over on 4. I went to hit instead of chipping it, I tried to Texas wedge it. Didn't hit it enough for 5. 6 I did it again, and I got it to roll close, and I took a double. I was trying to think. I was like, I'm looking at my scorecard, and I'm like, how did I get a double? That's how I got a double. Okay, so I ended up with a double.
So we move on to number 12, because at that point I think we're back to square stroke play. You and I, we're right around there. Because you took a 1-stroke lead on me on number 10, I believe.
No, I was a 1-stroke lead on you after 9.
After 9, okay.
So then I was 2 strokes, and then I gave you them. Did you bogey or you parred? You bogeyed?
Which?
5 or 11.
11, yeah.
Yeah, I'm 1 stroke up on you still.
So we get to the hole 12, par 3. We're playing from the maroon, so it's not such a bad hole.
Yeah, different look for sure. A little nicer look, actually.
I hit the green.
So did I.
We
actually put our balls almost side by side,
and I wound up 3 putting. So I hit two par 3 greens and 3 putted both of them.
I 2 putted that one. I made that one look easy. Took a par.
So then we move on to 13.
Again, another tough hole. It's only 300 and how many yards?
340.
340, but it's all downhill. You could attack the green if you got a controllable bomb that you can hit, but there's water in front, bunkers everywhere, so it's like it's tough, man. It's tough shots.
I hit the fairway on that one, got it on in 3, 2 putted for a bogey, and I was happy with that.
I missed mine just right, but it got a favorable bounce. I was okay. I was in the rough. I hit my approach shot, ended up in the bunker. I hit a really nice bunker shot, just missed my par. Or no, what are we on? Yeah, 13.
13.
Yeah, I just missed my par and ended up with a bogey.
Okay. So hole number 14, par 3. Again, it's playing about 150 yards. I hit the green on this par 3 as well, but I managed to 2-putt it, and I parred it.
I parred it as well.
So, decent hole. Then we turn to 15, and this is where the round kind of changed.
Yeah, because right up until this point on Stableford scoring, we were pretty damn close. Yeah. I think almost identical. So 15 is it's generally a longer par 4. It's shorter off the maroons,
and we played from the maroons, and I think you teed off first.
Yes, I teed off first. I hit driver, and lately I've been getting some top spin. I haven't been consistent with my driver. And usually if I'm in a competitive round, I'll put it away. I didn't do that. I decided to just screw it, whatever. So I hit a drive. I got it out there. I thought it was good. It landed kind of center fairway, but everything slopes left. It took a big bounce, and then it ended up going OB past the bunker. So, and then you get up and you crank yours out, center fairway, what, 150 to go?
About 155.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just this side of the 150.
Yeah.
I'm 155 out, so I'm in the fairway.
Yep, and I'm dropping it to shooting 3.
So, while you guys are out there kind of looking for your ball, I hit my second shot. And it was one of the best 7-irons I've hit all year. And I roll it to within about 7 feet of the cup.
Yep.
And I just put the club in the bag, sat in the cart, and I'm like, again, another one of those shots that is like, if you can just get it in shape on this hole and not hurt yourself, you can score on the hole. And that's where I was, 7 feet away. So you're taking a drop. And
I hit my 3 into the bunker.
Yes.
So then I get up there, and it was kind of a crappy lie where actually the first shot I had in there was kind of a crappy lie. So I proceed to learn how to, or forget how to hit out of the bunker, and then proceed to hit 3 shots out of the bunker. Thank God I hit the bunker lip on the first one, because it would have been an OB ball, which I might have preferred at that point. So anyways, takes me 3 to get out of there. So 4, 5, 6 shots, I'm out. 7, I got a chip close because I'm not even on the green yet. And then I make a natural 8, and I get diddly squat for that hole.
And I get up and I make my 7-foot putt for birdie.
Which net eagle.
Which is a net eagle.
Which is a 4-point swing.
On one hole. So I knew at that time I was kind of in good shape.
And I knew at that time, like I knew I was like, the way Alvin's playing, I mean, I got to get some points here in the next couple holes and I'll be okay. But I had a feeling, I'm like, Alvin's got to be in the mix here coming down the stretch. He's putting himself in a good spot, but because we don't know what anyone else is shooting, we have no idea, right? So
then we get to 16, and then again, you have those holes that are just like, really at this point in time.
And it's a short par 4, but it's uphill. It's like 298 uphill. What does it say on there?
It says on here 289.
289. Sorry, 289 uphill.
Yeah,
but it's uphill. Yeah, I mean, I crushed the drive, and I still had 60 yards to go.
So I get on there. I hit the fairway. I hit a shit shot up.
Did you chunk 2? Yeah, you chunked 2, didn't you?
Nope, because I was on in 3.
Oh yes,
on in 3, and then I 3-putted for a double.
Right. Yes.
So that was a tough hole after coming off a solid birdie to double that one. Again, hitting from the fairway. And I was hitting like, I was in that 100-yard range, and I just hit a real shitty shot that came up short. Then I had to chip on, and I didn't put myself close. And then because of the way the greens are, I 3-putted and got out of there with a double.
Yeah, and I was fairway green, just missed my birdie and tap in par.
So then I'm like, okay, he's kind of back a little bit. I know I still got something on him. I do know that. So then we move on to the final par 3 of the 18 holes, number 17. And
I'd just like you to know I played the par 3s at +1 for the entire day.
That par 3 was playing 159, so about 160 yards. I hit the green, 2-putted for a par, and I was mondo happy. Mondo happy on that one.
I think I was I just short, like on the fringe, front fringe maybe? Or was I on? No, I was on. And I 2-putted for par.
Yeah. So again, you gain nothing on me on that hole.
No. So then we go to 18.
18 is a different look as well.
18 is oh god, I hate 18 because it's like it comes out like where you're aimed off your tee boxes is 2 bunkers, and then it takes a right turn and goes right, and it's a long par 5. And it's like,
and the more you start aiming to the right to get yourself away from those bunkers,
the less room you have.
The less room underneath you have, and the longer you got to put it out. So it does not play well to our amateur type of game, that hole.
Yeah.
But I managed to hit the fairway, as I did. I only missed 2 fairways the entire day. And And again, I think Blair made the comment of it's really boring playing from the middle of the fairway all the time.
It is. I wish I could play from the middle of the fairway. I bet you I shaved 10 strokes.
But I kind of meandered my way up that par 5 after my first shot. Got on in 4 and 2-putted for a bogey. And I'm through 18.
And off the tee, I went left OB, took a drop, hit a great 6-iron. I came up just short on number 4. So 5, I chip on. I have a chance to make bogey. And at that point, I'm like, I got to make bogey here because I knew we were really close. And I was like, I got to make bogey here because I think we get a stroke on that hole. And I was like, I got to make bogey here to not lose anything else, like to stay here. I lit my bogey and I made double. So I got nothing on that hole, or 1 point, I guess, if we did have a stroke on that hole.
So I finished the back 9 at 42.
Yep.
So 7 over.
And I played the back at 10 over. So you finished 15 over.
I finished 15 over,
Yeah.
which is it's an 87. That's a great round for me out there again.
Yep.
As well, and I'll take it every day of the week.
And I shot another 89, and nothing else. I am consistent, even with 4. And I had 4 penalty strokes. That my biggest problem is off the tee box. If I stay in play, I'm tough to beat because generally speaking, it's once I'm in play off the tee box, the rest of my game plays well.
It does.
But this year I've been, and for whatever reason, going into that round, I was thinking about it after. I'm like, I mean, I could have hit different clubs, but I don't know. I didn't have that. I guess I didn't have that intensity. Like, you know, when we play our tour championship and I'm like, I'm winning today. I'm not touching my driver. I'm not like, it's going 6-iron, 5 wood, or, you know, if I'm feeling my 3 wood, that's it. Anything, that's it off the tee. I'll beat you with that. I don't need my driver. And it's like out there, I was just kind of like, I got to get my driver figured out. Because I said at the beginning of the year, I'm trying to make a concerted effort to get it going. And I mean, overall, to shoot 17 over back-to-back days, even with 4 penalty strokes for me, and, you know, shoot an 89 and finish 2 strokes behind you, I was happy with that. And I mean, I did say to you, I was like, pal, you played really well. Like, you got to be in the mix here.
So we walk off 18. We do our scorecard.
We got to check our scores. We got to sign them.
Gang, so you got to sign your. So Chris had my card. I had his. So
yep.
we went through the scores, made sure everything was right, signed them off, gave him to the scorer, and let him enter him into the computer. And we kind of hung out and waited to see how this was going to play out.
Yeah. So Alvin shot. So to give you guys an idea. So of everybody that was at this event, there's 40 people.
Something like that.
So of everybody that was at this event, Alvin's plus 15, including the champ and the A and the B flights, which were ahead of us, and the C and the D's, got him a tie for 12th overall finish at plus 15.
Almost got inside the top 10.
Close.
Almost
you weren't too far out,
10.
man. Top 10 would have been plus 12. And my plus 17 got me an 18th finish.
So you inside the top 20.
Which, I mean, again, considering how the day went, super happy with.
You bet.
So we hand in our scorecards. We got to wait for one last group as he's putting because the group behind us, I think, had some C, 1 or 2 C flighters in there, and then we get a little email that says your scorecard's in and here's where you're at. So for the C flight, there was a gentleman from guy finished in 7th. He had 17 points in Stableford. 6th place was a gentleman from Edmonton. He had 23 points in Stableford. Then we had an R. Smith from Olds. He had 28 points in Stableford. And then in a tie for 3rd was Jay Heeks from Airdrie and myself with 30 points in Stableford.
So 3rd place, a tie for 3rd, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. I was actually pretty content with that considering how my day went. I didn't play well enough to win. But I mean, to finish top 3, I was pretty happy with that. So then, 2nd place, this guy, he ended up with 32 points in Stableford, which is really good, solid. And then the guy who won our C flight, old gentleman from Okotoks, Alberta, he plays with Hickory Shafts. He got 35 points in Stableford. unbelievable. He played terrific. I think what did he shoot? He shot a net +2, and you were a net +5, and I was a net +7, and then the guy I was tied with was a net +6. So I mean, overall, that's pretty phenomenal.
I was ecstatic. I knew I was in the mix for the W, and I knew I was close. I actually was a little disappointed that I didn't take the W. That would have been so sweet.
Well, just because of how well you played, like even I said that coming off, I was like, man, that's a pretty good round to beat in the C flight.
And when you said, Alvin, I think you're in the mix, and I kind of like, I played well enough to be in the mix in a C flight. But a second place finish, tied for third for you for our first Alberta Golf Tour event. I don't think, other than getting a W, I don't think we could have performed any better.
No,
I mean, we could have took strokes off our game here and there, but that's the golf.
That's golf.
You go out there and you play it, and you finish with what you get.
Some days you get the bounces, some days you don't. I mean, it is what it is. You try and put up the best number you can that day, and that's what we did. We put up the numbers that we could that day. You put up another 87 or an 87 to go with the 285s you shot recent the 285s you shot recently, one there and one at Medicine Hat. And I put up back-to-back 89s, which, again, that golf course, anything under bogey golf for us is, phenomenal. Especially with the speed of their greens. Phenomenal. I'm like, yeah, okay. I can remember, I had my bachelor party there, okay, like years ago, and we played, and it was horrid conditions because it was end of September. That was before they made it more playable for other people. It used to be so linksy that if you were off the first cut, it was 2 feet deep grass, and you ain't finding your ball. Like, it was a nightmare. And at that point, I wasn't a very good golf player at all. I mean, I'm marginally better now, but I mean, I wasn't very good back then. So, I mean, to go out there and back then, I'm like, yeah, I want to try and break 100. Yeah, good luck with that. Now I'm like, I've broken 90 every time I've played out there. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's not break 100 anymore. It's, we can get into the 80s now if we play half decent, which is great. I mean, that's where our games are coming.
It's just a progression, right? Which is nice.
A second place and a tie for third for our first Alberta Golf Tour event is, I think, phenomenal and better than we probably could have imagined. And again, where we finished overall. I mean, I was really happy with the tie.
You were just about inside. You were inside the top 15, and I was inside the top 20. That's awesome.
So after that, and everything is done, I want to play more Alberta Golf Tour events because that was so much fun. Now,
yeah, man. I think maybe Strathmore.
Well, again,
maybe Strathmore.
It's in the talks. We'll see.
We might see you there, Leah.
We might see you there because. Again, I think next year, this is going to be a big.
Dude,
part of our summer next year.
I'm
going to tell you.
I'm sorry, Mulligans and Hackers crew, but someone else is going to have to kind of run the tour. Alvin and I will make guest appearances and win all the big tournaments we can. But I think it's time for us to maybe turn our attention towards some Alberta Golf Tour stuff. I
think with how. Just the environment in which we showed up in and played and the crew that's there, Leah and the tight ship that she runs, this for us, I think, is a logical next step for us playing golf. If we want to still be competitive, a little bit competitive against each other and, test ourselves in the golf world that we're doing, I think this is the next logical step. And I think next summer, we're gonna commit to more than just 2 or 3 events next year. And
I'd like to get into 1 or 2 of their majors.
Yeah,
right, like the 2 dayers, like to get some different feel.
Everything is new. Yeah, this is new for us. I mean, first time playing a tour event, it's all new for us, and I want more of it now because I had such a good experience in the first event that it's easy to go back and try it again, even if we go and shit the bed in the next one. Well, the first event was we'll always come back to the first event. This will be our marker. Hey, we played well. If we play like shit in an event, it's like, doesn't matter. Our first event, we played well, and that'll be our marker we always can go back to, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, so, for sure.
I don't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing that we had such a good time at this first event because I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I love the competitiveness between you and me, the going and trying to play the best golf you can to finish somewhere on the scoreboard. Yeah, I'm hooked. Hook, line, and sinker without a doubt.
Yeah, and it was fun to play Stableford, because we never actually played around
Nope.
like that, right?
Nope.
So um, it was fun to play that way and to play in that scoring system because it was different.
Yep.
And again, it didn't really penalize you for like one really bad hole,
Yes.
right? Like if somebody got points and you didn't, then you got some ground to make up. But it doesn't, like, you give up 4 strokes there. Well,
Yeah.
that's gonna be tough to get back.
You bet. You bet.
So it was interesting.
Just
but
a great, just
phenomenally run.
great
Excellent,
introduction.
excellent experience. I mean, if somebody was looking for an introduction to the Alberta Golf Tour,
Or
you couldn't
an
have asked for a better time.
Yeah, exactly. Like an introduction to tournament golf at a beer league pace, I guess. Beer league environment.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to drink, you're more than welcome to drink.
And to go out there and just have a little bit of competition between guys, I mean, I don't think you could have a better event. And if you're out there listening and you're from Alberta and you're on the fence about like where you want to go, if you wanted to go and take your game to the next level, get out of the
Your comfort zone.
out of your comfort zone a little bit. I mean, not that it's out of my comfort zone. I'm a little more confident in my game than I used to be. This was one of my top events I've ever played in golf.
But I mean, it's
since we
so
started.
well run. Like, nobody feels out of place. It doesn't matter if you're in the D, the C, the A, the B, the champ flight. It doesn't matter. And I gotta tell you, every person I talked to that day, and I talked to some guys that were in the A flight and in the champ flight. They were on the range. You couldn't tell, and until you seen them tee off. Nobody had any real egos when they were talking to anybody. Everybody was really welcoming. A lot of the guys are like, yeah, I've played in, like we were talking about our scorecards kind of on there, and Buddy was kind of, yeah, this is kind of how you do it, like just kind of telling us. And he's like, I've played in these for a year. They're super welcoming, super welcoming. It was awesome. It was everything I could have imagined and better.
Yeah. So we get through the event.
Yep.
I was so physically and mentally exhausted after the event. I was bagged. I haven't been that bagged in a long time. Because again, the mental game of it, staying in it for me, because I've kind of fade every now and then sometimes. I've been known to. I was on for the 18 holes.
It took all the energy you had.
And it took every bit of energy I had.
It's funny you say that because I went home and I mean, I didn't, to be honest, I didn't really feel any different from any other round. I was just
you're a little bit more in shape, and your mental game has always been a couple steps ahead of mine.
But I mean, I didn't have a single 3-putt, which is awesome because I was locked in on the greens. And I mean, I don't, like, if I look back and now it's easy to say in hindsight, like, I don't think I was as locked in as I could be or as I've been before. But again, it is what it is. That's just what you get. So I don't think that I exerted as much energy as you did.
I had to stay where I was, I think.
Right.
To stay in the frame of mind and stay in the game that I was playing, I had to exert every bit of energy, mental and physical, that I could. And it took a lot out of me on that Saturday.
Well, unless, like the psychos that we are, we had a tee time the following morning at Medicine Hat at our home round,
yes,
our home course.
So I show up to the golf course on Sunday morning, and I got there about 15 minutes before our tee time,
if that.
and I was bagged. I was toast, absolutely toast. I didn't have anything upstairs. My body didn't have anything to give, and I knew it was going to be a rough day. So I said to Clark and Chris before we, because the guys, I'm here for the walk, because we walk, and I don't think I hit a good shot. For the few shots that I took that day, I don't think I hit a good one, because I shit hooked my tee shot off the first one. I meandered my way down for like a 7 or an 8 on the first par 5. The next par 4, I shit sliced it out to the right.
Yeah, which is very unlike you with your driver.
Meandered my way down. It took like a triple on that one. Hole number 3, the reachable par 5, which you had an eagle opportunity on again. One of these days you're going to make one of these eagles, and I'm going to get it on camera. Yeah,
I 3-putted that one. I was not happy.
That's
the first time in 2 years that I've 3-putted an eagle opportunity. I just like to say that for those of you that have watched that. I almost always make the birdie.
Very rare, very rare, very uncharacteristic.
I was not happy about that
because you were in you were in eagle range.
Oh yeah.
Probably on the 50-50 eagle range.
Well, because I had gone.
But your birdie putt was makeable.
Oh, yeah. It was
So-
it was a little slider to the left.
And you can find that video on our socials as well because it's up there.
It was a little slider to the left, and I hit it
a little
like
too firm, and just got the lip out.
I just didn't take any break with it, which is fine, whatever.
But I mean, I didn't hit a shot out of it. If I hit a shot into the bunker, I picked it up out of the bunker and I didn't even play it. I put it in my pocket and walked to the next tee. I was so bagged.
So those of you that don't know, Clark and I were laughing about this as we were walking, because we were walking together and Alvin's kind of with his little R2D2 Imperial freaking droid cart that he has. And he's walking and whatever, and Clark looks over and he's like, I haven't seen temper tantrum Alvin in a while. I was like, he expended all of his energy yesterday to win that event. I was like, and all he cared about was beating me. I was like, am I a little sour about it? Yes. I was like, because I hate losing.
Yes.
But at the same time, I was like, it brings joy to my heart to watch him struggle out today.
And again, I was in my mind. I'm like, I know Chris wants me to play today because he wants some redemption, and I wasn't going to give him the satisfaction of kicking my ass on a Sunday after an Alberta Golf Tour event. I'm like, I'm here for the walk, and I would pick my ball up, put it in my, and I knew you were stewing about it, but I was like, I don't give a fuck.
I was like, whatever.
I'm just here for the walk, and I'm not going to lie to you, dude. When we were walking up 18, I had nothing left.
You said that, yeah.
Like, we were walking up 18. I hit my tee shot, shit hooked it out to the left. I'm looking at it out there by,
you were literally like, you didn't have very many fairways. Let's just put it that way.
Dude, I've seen every inch of that golf course. And with the shots I hit, I've seen every inch of that golf course. And we're walking up 18, and I'm walking up to my ball. And I'm like, I'm not fucking hitting my ball from here. So I picked my ball up from this shit lot, and I walked up to the 18th green with you two. And I'm like, guys, I'm out. I just, when you guys finished up, it was just like right to the van, throw all the shit in the van and go home. And dude, I came home and I fucking totally went and had a nap. I was done.
Funniest thing about that whole round. So I go out there and I shoot, time my season best and your season best out there with an 85. Plus 13. And with authority, I make a par putt on 18. Probably an 8-footer. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that actually turned out to be not a bad day for me.
For me, it was a fucking nightmare, an absolute gong show. But I don't know how these guys do it, like week in, week out. Like the amount of physical and mental energy I exerted on Saturday. I mean, I've never done that before, and not in my entire life, I don't think.
It's golf's weird that way because, in some sports you don't need your whole physical body. Do you know what I mean? And in golf, there's multiple aspects. You have to stay completely mentally locked in if you want to play well. Like in every aspect, you gotta make sure that your routine, your pre-shot routine's there. You're keeping everything the same. You're remaining focused. You're not letting a duff shot or the little things bother you. You're making sure that everything is. There's so much attention to detail all around long that if you're not used to doing that at a high intensity level, like we just played on Saturday, it's it really gets you. I think I only have a leg up on you in regards to not mentally being drained from that is because I've coached a lot in the last little while at high levels and been in those situations. And like my athletes will say I'm bagged today, and they're like, what? And I'm like, I'm exhausted, and they're like, well, you just coached. And I'm like, yeah, but it's exhausting coaching. Like, you have no idea how exhausting it is. And, I've kind of built a little bit of more of a stamina reserve up, which is going to come for you the more we play.
Well, again, I mean, I've talked about this in our game before where like we've never taken lessons, markers that you can go back to.
Yep.
Right? So no matter how many events we play in the Alberta Golf Tour or on the Mulligans and Hackers Tour, I have a marker to go back to now.
You betcha.
I was like, that day was intense, mentally, physically.
And let's just say that course is no joke.
And that course is no joke. And I have a mental marker to go back to now.
Yes.
So that's another positive. Whatever the scores were,
you can reach back and say, I played this way for an entire round. What do I have to do to get back to that place? I
am so and now I have a golf mental marker to go back to, and that's solid.
I just want to play another event. I want to play another event because one, I hate fucking losing, and two, I want to play a stroke play event.
Yep.
Cause I feel like I hate losing when I don't give my best, and I feel like I can do better than that.
Yeah, I mean, the only way we're going to do it is get another opportunity.
100%, right? I mean, it might not go as planned, but who knows?
We are booked into Mickelson National Tour event
in August.
In August,
that's one of the end of the year events, though, unfortunately.
And Leah said, guys, that's like the end of the year. You got to get something else in, kind of in the middle. And then our minds started to roll. It's like, yeah, we really should, because
I mean, I really enjoyed Strathmore next weekend, and technically it's on a Mulligans and Hacker Tour date. But I created the schedule.
You can change it.
I might just move that date.
You never know. You might see us in Strathmore.
Yeah, I think there's probably a good chance you're probably going to see us there.
Possibly. Yeah.
I mean, I told Alvin the car's rocking and ready to roll. I mean, he's. I usually drive, so I told him, I'm like, if you want to go, man, I'm down. I mean, I'm never going to say no. I mean, it's only like you can walk that course, and it's only $147.
Yeah.
It's really not that bad.
I'm probably taking a cart.
You in a cart?
Yeah, probably.
I might just walk.
So maybe we'll be at Strathmore. Who knows? But there it is, guys. Recap of the our debut Alberta Golf Tour event.
Yeah, check everything out on the socials. We got some reels and stuff out there, some videos. For those of you guys that haven't seen any of their events and stuff. And I just want to say, Leah and the crew over at Alberta Golf Tour, you guys did an amazing job. Thank you for being so welcoming. Do not regret signing up and attending one of your guys' events. And we definitely plan to attend more this year and in the future for sure. It's a great time.
100%. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Later.
Later.